Hello everyone, my name is Michael Young, and welcome back to Factorio on the Sea Block mod. So, after 10 hours of this mod, I feel like we've got a pretty good grip on coal. Only now do I think we have, enough coal generation going on to keep up with our power, so keep the power going in order to produce enough slag that we can expand. So that's my focus right now: slag production and more landfill. I just want to have a big chunk of land to do stuff on. So let's just start placing. It runs out so fast. But kind of what I'm envisioning is right now we've got like this single production chain. So you get chemical, you produce the sulfuric dioxide gas, then you produce, what is this? Sulfuric acid. Then you get the slag slurry. You turn it into mineral sludge, and then you turn mineral sludge into good things. And it's kind of like in the very beginning when you look at somebody's new factory, like somebody who just started the game, and they make it so they have one, instead of like having a line of factory components like this, they would make there be one of them, and they'd have each one of them would have a belt that came out and goes to a different thing. That's like what this is right now. It's just a single long production line that step by step does this thing. I want to turn this into a kind of a main bus. I want to have a bus of all the different products going across here, and I want there to be vertical lines of, like, for example, this chemical plant. Let's have like 5 of these chemical plants all go in there, grabbing one thing and making another thing and putting it back into the bus. That's my goal. That's my plan right now. It's gonna take us a while to get there, and I don't think, and we're certainly gonna need not only to add more land, I think we're gonna need more circuits. So we'll have to switch this back on at some point. And what am I saying? We're gonna switch that back on and have it start creating the other ores. In fact, should we do that right now? We've got quite a bit of copper and iron. Let's do that. Okay. We'll create rubites and bobmonium. Very slowly we'll do this. Let's add a bit. Yep. Nice, this is actually backed up. I thought that without coal coming in, it would slowly deplete. I think it will still. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. I'm half inclined to try to duplicate this rather than go for this yet, because I think we need more power. Certainly we're going to need more power to run this, but for now I just want to go with it. I just want to, I want to move forward. I want to start researching some new tech. Maybe move our ways finally to get more solar cells, so we don't need as much of this to be burning. I don't know. We'll let the slag back up a bit. So, one thing I would like to do, if I can, because this right is just kind of sticking out as like a a sore thumb in the middle of my base. It doesn't really do anything related to anything nearby it. It needs saline water. That's the only real hang up. I would like to move it down here and start using that to produce, what is it we make from that? We make the acid, the alginic acid, and then start building some wooden boards off of that. So like, let's get rid of these two. That will let some of this cellulose will start filtering through then and building up. It shouldn't be a lot, because this should be producing as this should be able to consume all the cellulose it's getting. It's not, because the inserters are missing things. So like, stuff gets by, but once it's backed up, it should not like back up that much beyond the inserters. If that makes sense. See, like right now the inserters are empty. They're not doing anything because it's not approaching at the speed. It's not saturated. It's not fully saturated because the green are not fully saturated. Why are they not? They should be saturated. I was expecting there to be too many green. Because we don't have enough mineralized water. Why don't we have enough mineralized water? We should have a ton of mineralized water. It's the purified water that's potentially an issue. Oh, we're actually using up too much water. I see. Wow. That's... Didn't expect that. We have a convenient water source nearby? It's so dark I can't see anything. Not really. But yeah, these electrolyzers are using up all the water before it gets down here. Can we just insert some random water things? We'll see if that fixes it. There. Okay. Yeah, usually I end up thinking of these offshore pumps as like just a source of infinite amounts of water. And instead, it does have a limit. It only pulls them in at 1,200 a second. And especially when you have like long pipes, these will suck up water before it can get past it. So like fewer is available down the line. Okay, this is starting to fall behind again. So let's let a bit of coal through. That's good enough. Just to give it some breathing room. Okay, we still are a little shy of mineral water. Okay, wait. We need to keep our slag production up. Gotta get that landfill going. How's this doing? Okay, we're starting to get some lead plates and tin plates. Let's try something. This has never worked out whenever I try this. I keep trying to get the ore sorting facility to make this work better, but whenever I do, it doesn't work the way I want it to. We'll give it another shot. So you are going to be sorting, what is this? This is rubite. Crushed rubite for sorting. And well, if we need another filter inserter. We don't have one because we don't. Okay, that's the whole point of what we're doing. To make room for one of those, we need this to make more solder plate. Wait a minute, we're not going to burn our electric poles. What are you thinking? Why can't I make that? Basic electronic board. Basic electronic... Ah, because this needs carbon, which we certainly have a bunch of down here. So we'll definitely need to let some of the coal slip on for a bit. And even then, I can't do it by hand. Do we have one of those? Good. We should make some more tinned copper. We can. There we go. Okay, and then we... Well, why were we doing that again? I forget. Actually, we can make more algae farms. There's a thought. Do I want to commit to that? I'm trying to think. We could easily just go and double everything we're doing down there. Just have another part of this down there that's going to produce even more coal. I'm very tempted. That would let us potentially support another 4 of these. Not now. We'll keep it in mind. But that wasn't what I was thinking. I was going to make something else. I was going to make... I keep wondering if there's something I should be doing with these red metal catalysts. But not today. Okay, this will be the slag. And it's gonna produce I don't know what those things are. It's gonna produce 2 types of ore. Here, just start pulling them in. Tin ore. Right? No? Isn't that tin ore? Looks like tin ore. Why isn't it pulling it in? Must not be tin ore. What is it? It's lead. Lead ore. It's one of them. And the other, I thought it was tin. It looked like tin. You sure it's not tin? Like it might just suddenly start working? No, it's not tin. That's not tin. That's a different thing. Zinc? Nickel. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's nickel. Nickel ore cannot be smelted. What do we do with it then? We need to process it in an ore processing machine. Well, let's just store it for a little bit. We're getting a decent amount of lead plates. I don't know if that's a good thing. Everything that this produces is tin plates, right? Yeah. Yeah, the virtue of doing the sorting is that we get the nickel over here. We would have otherwise just gotten a ton of lead. And we get some slag back. Let's start making a ton of pipes. And particularly underground pipes. That's done. So what would the processing on this side do? Can I get 3 more inserters? I can. They're expensive, but I'll need a bunch of them eventually anyway. Why do I have so much crushed rubite here? Just go ahead and process it all. So what does nickel ore do? I process it, which I can do right now. That's how I get it. I can turn it into processed nickel, or nickel ingots, or nickel plates. Actually, that's not hard. That's sulfur dioxide. Interesting. So I can turn nickel into sulfur dioxide. So it's really fuel for this whole process. Like, instead of having like free sulfur out in a chest, I could just have nickel. But what's the virtue of nickel actually? So processed nickel I can use to make nickel pellets eventually when I get nickel smelting, and nickel cathodes, which are used to make nickel ingots, which are used to make bronze. So I'm making copper, tin, and nickel to make bronze. That's right? It's copper and tin. I didn't know nickel was part of that. There's so much going on with this. I mean, it's very obvious that there's going to be just a ton of ore recipes going on in the future. That's just beyond me at the moment. It's a little daunting looking at the tech tree. Why do we have so many green algae? When did we get that? When did that happen? We need to clear this out of our inventory. Yeah, green algae is saturated. Why is... Well, good. That's actually kind of what I wanted. I wanted this to be saturated enough that we could use this for other purposes. To make boards, right? Let's make some space. Okay, let's be careful with these recipes. I don't want to screw up. Yeah, these are. It's the production speed 0.5 that messed me up. I was thinking that everything was going to get limited by inserters because I'm stuck using the basic inserters. And I was assuming that everything was speed 1, but instead these are crafting speed 0.5. When I play the rest of the game, the regular game, everything is 0.75. So I was surprised at how much that's taken up. Maybe, something like that. That's my excuse, I'm sticking with it. Is purified water being a problem? It might be. I think this is getting slowed down because of purified water. But it might just be that, well... What is metallurgy even getting us? It's getting us blast furnaces. Okay, let's switch this back. We've gotten quite a bit of these two different ores. So we'll switch back to sapphirite and stereotype. Or actually, I guess we could keep on doing that for a little bit. Just get this out of the way. Okay, so instead of producing that, you're going to be sorting the crushed sapphirite. And that won't be made anymore. Instead, there'll be 2 of these. That's the wrong thing. I wanted these. So this is going to be the iron ore, and this will be the copper ore. More landfill, please. We can drop off more slag. That's not going because it's full. Which is fine. It's full, it's full. No complaining. Alright, so that was just a major distraction there. We were going to go ahead and move brown algae processing down here. So what exactly are we doing down here with brown algae? Why does mineral catalyst come up when I search for brown? Apparently we use those in crystallizers. I don't even know if I'm using a crystallizer. Actually no, that's okay, I get it. This would turn into manganese or silicon or nickel. What are chunks? I don't think we get chunks ever. They're crystals too. Where do the crystals come from? Sapphirite crystals come from chunks with sulfuric acid. Chunks come from crushed. I see. Oh, I see. So there's like this entire another level step of ore processing, where instead of just processing the crushed bits, or even sorting the crushed bits, you could turn them into chunks. And then you can the chunks will generate more. Not only will it produce iron and copper, it'll also produce silicon and nickel. Or we could turn it into crystals, and the crystals will produce even more iron and ore and titanium. I like that. So like you just refine things more and more pure and end up getting the rare trace elements as being able to be extracted. And there's even another step, purified sapphirite, which gives you even more copper and gives you zinc. So, wait a minute. So eventually, each of the 4 major things is going to have 6 outputs? And that's as far as it goes. Thermal refining. Wait a minute, this all happened in the ore what's an ore refinery? A leaching. There's different facilities for each one. Flotation cells. And of course these are just in assembling machines. Or crushers. Well, that was an interesting diversion, but that wasn't what we were gonna do. Just keep in mind, mineral catalysts come up when you search for brown. Brown algae, we use purified water to turn it into sodium carbonate? What do we use that for? We don't. Sodium carbonate, we will eventually use it to make glass or sodium aluminate when we're making aluminum and chrome. Haha. This is starting to run out again. How is this going? Did this actually work? Seems like it stopped. It's going. It's just going slower. And this is producing copper 2. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Iron ore. So 4 iron ore makes 3 iron plates? I did not realize that. That's quite different. Or processed iron, which we can eventually do later. But wait a minute, I need to think about this. So 4 iron ore is okay. Let's math this out. So 4 iron ore is equal to 3 iron plates. And presumably the same is true for copper. Yeah. So 4 copper ore for 3 yields 3 copper plates. Okay, so what's this process? We're starting from sapphirite. Which is another one of those things that doesn't seem to come up when you search for it. Let's see if we can find, let's see, ore. Probably has a different name somewhere that is causing troubles. There, crushed sapphirite ore. So sapphirite ore, no. Sapphirite ore we can't do anything with. All we can do is crush it. And that's all we want to do with it, because both of them start off crushing. Okay, so crushed sapphirite. I don't get what's going on there. I don't care. Blue geodes and hydro refining. That's not what I'm talking about, though. Crushed sapphirite. Right, so 4 crushed sapphirite yields 2 iron ore and 1 copper ore, which is equivalent to 1.5 iron plates and 0.75 copper plates. Alternatively, if we were in a slag, but I'm not counting that. Alternatively, if we were just to burn the crushed sapphirite, 3 crushed sapphirite is equal to 2 iron plates. So wait, let's put it in terms of 1. So 1 crushed sapphirite is equal to 1 crushed sapphirite is either equal to 0.375 iron and copper, or just strict iron. That's quite a ratio. So let me see. That's it's more than it's cutting our iron plate production in half to get half again more copper plates. I'm not sure that's worth it. I mean, we're getting a slag back too. Is that worth it? I don't know. What do you guys think? I was thinking it was still 1 for 1. That 1 iron ore was 1 iron plate, but it's not. Even then, that wouldn't be that good a deal. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did that right. 3 crushed sapphirite is 2 iron plates, so 1 crushed sapphirite is a third of 2, which is 0.66. We'll go with it. It seems like this is the next step to do it, because at least this would, well... I don't know. Is the slag back really worth it? We're getting less overall ore, plates out of it in exchange for getting slag. I mean, relatively free slag still. You need to stop having this turn out on and off. I guess I'm just gonna assume the mod author knew what he was talking about, and so that's actually a good thing to do. That might not always be a good assumption, but I don't know, I'm kind of lazy. We were down here. We keep getting distracted. Okay, from now on we're gonna focus. We're going to get some, get the wooden boards made. Can we go ahead and build a few more of these? Okay, to make wooden boards, we need no more distraction. Brown algae, which we are going to turn into alginic acid. So 10 brown algae yields 2 alginic acid. We produce brown algae 40 at a time, every 30 seconds. So we're producing 1.3 per second. And then we're consuming it at 1 per second. So we could just have one inserter producing, or one factory just producing this all the time, and then we'll slowly. 2 would not be fully. What am I saying? Fully saturated. And then the alginic acid itself, alginic acid, alginic. How do you pronounce that? We either turn into solder plates or wooden boards. Or rather, solder or wooden boards. Is there an alternate way to make solder? There is. There's lots of different ways. Resin. Where do I get resin? From liquid resin, apparently. I get liquid resin from liquid resin barrels. From urea gas and formaldehyde? This... From bisphosphonyl A? No. This is the wrong direction to head in. Forget the resin. We can also make solder from molten solder, which isn't very helpful. Or from solder coils in reverse. Presumably, that we make solder coils by making molten. Okay. Okay, so no, forget that. We want to make solder from solder plate and alginic acid. It's the wooden boards that are going to be expensive. So I'm kind of thinking we'll do something just ad hoc for now. We're not gonna try to automate it too much. So this will be the alginic acid. We'll make boards on this side, and we'll make the solder on this side. Where is it? Yeah. And we'll have to supply this with brown algae right here. And then we'll spit them out into boxes. Let's move over one. And put the box right there. And this will have an input also that we don't have automated. That will be where the that doesn't need the electric components. What am I using solder for? I could have sworn I needed a bunch of solder for what? For these. Oh, we can't even make them in the yeah, we can't even make them we can't even automate them because they need 3 items and we don't have blue assembly machines yet. But at least we can make components so that we can handcraft things a bit faster. Okay, so this is going to be organic acid. No. The organic acid. This will be the boards. This will be the solder, which I can never find. And we need one of these. Make saline. That one, right? Yeah, that makes saline. And purify water, which we're just gonna throw away. The we don't have room. Let's make more room. It's a little messy. We'll need a spinny thing. A clarifier. Bring clarity to these difficult proceedings. I can't even get up there anymore. Let's get this out of the way. Alright, then we can just have this output here. An input right there. This needs the solder plate we made. Where is it? I'm looking right at, there it is. And this needs this stuff. There we go. Actually, let's put this like right here, so that eventually we can. Well, like that. I like it. That way we could eventually. Why is this not producing stuff? I guess it is, just very slowly. So we got boards here. Now if we had another one of these right here, we could make basic circuits. So this would need copper cable, and you can put it both ways. And it's going to output into a box. Because we're not 10 hours into this, we are 20 minutes into this. That's what you do, you put things in boxes when you're this early in the game. That's going to need tin plates from somewhere. Another box. There's no room for a box. We could offset it. This is gonna need to be offset too, because we need to supply it somehow. This needs tin. There we go. So it's not quite automated. It still needs a lot of things dropped into it, but we're slowly going to accumulate quite a bit of quite a lot of boards and circuit boards, and then we can just go ahead and grab components, some of this tinned wire, and we can handcraft the next level of circuit boards. Let's do a slag run. How much power does that consume? The hydro plants are an awful lot of power. I hate having to throw away the purified water from down there, but that's okay. You know, this isn't even doing anything. I don't even know why. Well, it's only has a drain of 1 kilowatt. That's not bad. That's like less than an inserter. Well, it's like 3 inserters. Something we have gained. I mean, I know it feels like we're still really early in the game, to me too, as well as to everybody else who's watching. But something we've gained is I feel confident now that when I walk away from, when I'm focused down here on something and then I walk back, that this is still working. Like, maybe that's a low bar, but for a long time, things were only working if I babysat them. And I had to make sure that things were getting put to the right places, otherwise it just would stop. And I don't think we've had a power failure in like quite a while. Yeah, for the past hour, not the past 10 hours, but the past hour, we've managed to keep our power going. What happened here? Oh, that's when the electrolyzers stopped because they were full of slag. Yeah, this is looking up. How's this going? Do we have... That's out of power. Okay, so it's not quite good. But it's moving in the right direction. I've got a lot more lead than tin. I think we should do this. Well, don't have the right ore anymore. Right? Where's my tin? Cratinium ore crushing? Not what I'm looking for. Tin plates. Don't have any of those tin plates. From crushed bobmonium. Or from tin ore. You know, let's switch these two. Let's make bobmonium here. We've always been going towards making iron and copper, or making the other two. But with the sorting, we can make them both at once. Just not at the right speed. And we're gonna need tin more than we're gonna need the other thing, I think. Let's make sure it's all clear. We're actually running low on chests. So this is going to be bobmonium ore sorting, which is going to produce something. Let's take a look. It's going to make tin ore and silicon ore, which is completely different. I thought it would make lead, but like, no, I guess not. Okay. So can we craft that? Let's see. Silicon ore. Yes, we can. So silicon ore. And what was it? It was tin ore. There. And slag. But apparently we're not producing anything? I mean, this is producing a ton of things, but this is not. Okay. Stop for a moment. I just want to see this go so I can make sure it's working. I know it's not working. It's gonna be complaining about not having enough power. Oh, it's putting it over here for some reason. Can we make more filters? We can. We need to go and pick up stuff from our new little filter, not filter, our new, little circuit board area. No, we still can't. Where's all the components? I thought we had a ton of components. We have a few. But I guess that's not enough. How many basic electronics do we need? Only 5 each? So I can make 5. And it only needed 4. What? I have 5. Oh, okay, because we need to make a fast inserter first, and that needs 2 more. Ah, I get it. I was confused. So we need to make more components. How do we do that again? What are the components? They need carbon. Right. So we should go ahead and build it like right here. Steal some carbon. How's this going? We're making quite a few boards. We need boards for anything else. Board. Wooden board. We can make basic circuits, and that's it. So there's really no point in having them as an intermediate step. We just need to, storing them anywhere. They're an intermediate product that we don't need to store. We can just go ahead and convert them straight to circuit boards. As many as we can. Although we might want to refrain from using up all our copper. Still can't make one. What am I missing? Solder. Right. I forgot. That's the thing. Solder needed, solder plate. Balancing all this is going to be a nightmare when I'm like trying to make it automated balanced. You know, it's not going to be fun. Well, it might be fun. It'll be fun for certain people. All that for one more filter inserter. Just so that these don't keep on putting their things in the wrong box. You are going to put stone, crushed stone in these, and that's it. This goes up there. But yeah, this is really annoying. Why isn't it? It's like I kind of wish it would just split evenly. We need a pipe splitter inserter. That's not gonna work well. Let's just let this go for a bit. It'll make a ton of crystallized bobmonium. Was that the real issue? We just did not have an inserter going that way? Wow, that. Never mind. So we're actually getting some glass. I don't know what to use it for, but you know. Let's see. Is there anything that can benefit me from having this? I can turn it into a sniper rifle. Or a portable solar panel Mark II. Or a femto laser emitter? What the hell? What's a... Excuse my language. What is a femto laser emitter? A really thin laser? Fiberglass boards. That's the main use. And this needs advanced electronics too. And better solar panels. And apparently petri dishes, which I'm assuming is part of one of the research things, alien artifacts. And what do these need? They need cut rubies, alien pre-artifact, alien bacteria. Where do we get that? From alien spores, and we get alien spores from the water. Interesting. Interesting. So there's actually alien stuff in the water. And, well, that makes me feel a little less comfortable drinking it. Anyway, I think I'm going to take a break there. We hit the hour. So thank you everyone for watching and bearing with me through this really, really tricky run for me to figure out in my head. My name is Michael Young. This is Factorio, the Sea Block Mod.